Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, before I begin with this lesson, I'm going to start it off by giving all the glory and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Okah HaKadosh. Double honor to the elders and the apostles who are at Millstone. Peace and blessings be to the Akim now pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Shah Barakathon. So this going to be, just a thinking out loud, based on this, personal experience that I had on, my rib giving birth to my son. And the reason I'm doing, a lesson on this particular topic is because, it really opened my eyes to a lot of things, man. Because being in that hospital for about a week and a half, and basically what I'm going to be touching up on, Salakia, is Jeremiah the 16th chapter, and 1 through verse 4, basically concerning on how Yahweh Shema Shah told us not to have children in Babylon, going back into that particular time, but you can also apply that to the time that we in now. All right, because although, of course, hey, Jake gonna be Jake. Jake, we are a fruitful nation. So, we gonna have children. And that's just simply what it is. And the scripture even talks about how women are gonna be saved through childbearing. All right, so, of course, brothers are gonna be having, seeds and things of that nature. So I don't want to make it seem like, it's a wicked thing to have children, because it most definitely ain't. The scripture tells you in Psalms that it's a blessing from the Most High. All right, and the Lord said to be fruitful and multiply. So it's a beautiful thing, but you also got to consider where we at. Speaking to myself first and foremost, and like I said, been in that hospital for a week and a half, they had to induce my rib at 37 weeks. And when I tell you, it was the most stressful shit, I ain't gonna say that I've ever been through, but the shit was, it was irksome. Just for the simple fact that ain't an environment where pregnant women should be. Pregnant women should have, midwives. Again, this is why men are supposed to have multiple women. All right, so you ain't got to worry about having to take your woman to strangers who she uncomfortable with, don't know shit about, and they helping to give birth. She's supposed to have midwives who she's comfortable with in the comfortness of her home to push out that baby. And being in that hospital, I can see that my rib was hella uncomfortable. You know what I mean? You got the motherfucking machines that she hooked up to. Then on top of that, they inducing her. So they basically forcing the labor. And the funny thing about it is that the whole time, that shit ain't even work. It ain't even work. Hey, they had it on that, on the libido for about a cool, man, damn near 3 days, bro. I kid you not. And nothing was working. She only dilated to about 5 centimeters. And then, they decided to go ahead and do a C-section. But when I tell you that this shit really opened my eyes to how corrupt, these hospitals are, which is I already knew it. But I tell you, man, I see why the Most High said to not have children in this place. You know what I mean? Because you're going to bring your child right into, unsteadiness. You're going to have a bunch of random motherfuckers around them. They pumping you, your woman with chemicals, if she's getting induced. You know what I mean? And even then, in the IVs, Lord knows what's truly in that shit. They could say that they're giving antibiotics or whatever the case may be, but we truly don't know, man. And I ain't trying to rant, but when I tell you, I was pissed off in there, and don't even get me started on when, my baby, got that first breath of this polluted ass air, poking them all in his foot, doing the blood screening, you know what I mean? And I'm watching this shit, and this Edomite bitch from Russia, she was a nurse, and she squeezing the fuck out his foot and shit. He just in there screaming, she taking her sweet ass time drawing blood from him, you know what I mean? And so I end up getting mad, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, come on now, bro. Like, how much blood do y'all niggas gotta take? You know what I mean? And that's another thing too. Esau and that goddamn blood work. You know what I mean? Esau be, you know what I'm saying, trying to take DNA from Jake babies, and, you know, man, this is, I see why the Lord said not to have children here, and there's a lot of shit that I could touch up on, but I feel like I've been ranting, you know what I'm saying, a little too much. But I was also looking up on this article on Natural News on how the UK, this World Economic Forum, you know what I'm saying, health advisor professional, she says that the UK's population, you know what I'm saying, collapse is good, quote unquote. You know, I guess because the number of children that are being birthed are declining. She said that that's a good thing. You know what I mean? And even going back a couple of years ago, Bill Gates had said that they can decrease the population down to 15 to 16% if they do well with healthcare services. That's dealing with these motherfucking hospitals, right? And also inoculations. And they try to, you know what I'm saying, convince me and my rib to take them, you know what I'm saying, you know what's. And I refused all that shit. You know, hey, that's a rock 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy. We know exactly what that shit do. They gonna try to get in there, they gonna sweet talk it. You know what I'm saying? I even had a bitch talking about, you know what I'm saying, you know, yeah, there's a lot of misinformation coming up. Nah, that shit ain't misinformation. That's the truth about it. Whatever's being said about people's personal testimonies and how they, you know what I'm saying, seeds are being affected by those, you know what I'm saying, you know what, that shit is true. Because Esau wants to continue to fuck up Jake babies, man. You know, and this remind me of what King Herod was doing. Also the Pharaoh. Esau coming in that same spirit. Esau coming after our children. All right, because he know we a fruitful nation and they dying at a faster rate than what they being produced. So they looking at us as the bad ones, and they trying to get us wiped off the map. You know what I'm saying? And this is why all these, you know what I'm saying, different inoculations and shit is coming from. Ain't no way in the fuck you need all that shit. You know what I mean? Hepatitis and, nah, man. But again, I see why Yahweh Shema Shah said not to have children here, man. All right? And of course, you know what I'm saying, the brothers that do, you know what I'm saying, because like I say, Jake gonna be Jake. But the brothers that do continue to have children, you know, if it's willingly or even if it's not, hey, you know what I'm saying, of course, the Most High gonna have our children covered, man. You know, so what is it, 2nd Ezra, I think it's the 2nd chapter. The Lord has said that our children shall not see the grave. As long as you continue to, you know, keep your foot on this work, man, keep that plow moving, then you ain't got to worry about your seed, you know, being fucked up out here. I'll just say that. But the first scripture I'm gonna grab is the book of Jeremiah 16, and I don't really intend on this being anything long. This was the first scripture that came in my mind when I was in the hospital. And like I said, it's so much shit. You know, I just woke up not too long ago, but it's so much stuff that I could mention, bro, that it's not even funny. You know, like I said, that shit was a real eye-opener, you know? And then when, you know, another thing too, you know, a fun fact, that's what I'm gonna call it. When your child was born, you ain't supposed to immediately take him off the umbilical cord, because the mother has, you know what I'm saying, more blood flow and more nutrients and vitamins that she's supposed to give the baby. You know what I mean? And if I'm not mistaken, that yellow stuff, you know, discharge, whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying, that's on the baby when it comes out. You're supposed to leave that on them because that's good for their skin. You know what I'm saying? But what does Esau do? Grab them, you know what I mean? Wipe them the fuck out, cut the umbilical cord, take the placenta. You know what I'm saying? They go study it. You know what I'm saying? Then dealing with the C-sections, it's a lot of people that came out and talked about how they babies got cut by this shit. You know, my brother-in-law, he was talking about how his daughter, you know, she had a little gas on her forehead from the knife. And I even seen some on TikTok. This baby had a big-ass cut on his face from the damn blade, man. Showing that you ain't supposed to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Esau and the way he does shit is just ass backwards, bro. The Most High gave women a vagina, you know what I'm saying, a goddamn uterus, they whole reproductive, you know what I'm saying, system for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Women are made to be pushing out babies. You know what I mean? But Esau want to cut them open and shit. You know, and I did a little bit of research back then, and the reason that they do that shit is because they actually get paid more if they do a C-section. cesarean section. You know what I'm saying? More than vaginal birth. So it makes sense of why they like to force a lot of shit, man. The herb and, you know what I'm saying, just induce the labor so you can go ahead and get the baby here. You know, like, man, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? This is why we got to get out of here, man. Because our children is born into the shit. But this is Jeremiah 16 and verse 1. It says, the word of the Lord came also unto me, saying, thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. And this was talking about Babylon at the time. You know what I'm saying? Ancient Babylon. But you can also apply this to a great Babylon, the virgin daughter of Babylon, which is here in America in today's time, here in 2023. All right? And it ain't wicked. You know what I'm saying? Because 1 Corinthians 7 chapter says, you know, shit, go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, marry thee a wife, you know, so that you don't commit fornication. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a bad thing if you get you a woman. You know what I'm saying? But the smart thing would do, you know what I'm saying, is, hey, if you can go without it, bro, then go without it. You know, because I ain't finna, you know, touch up on the women here. You know, that's a whole different lesson for a whole different other time. But just look at where we at, man. You gonna fuck around and be stressed out. I'm just gonna say that. And the brothers that's in these situations, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You may have, you know what I'm saying, your woman may, you know, obey you. You know, I know mine do. But it's still always gonna be something that's gonna fuck with your head. Alright? It says, thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. And if you think about it, the Lord was really looking out. You know what I'm saying? The Lord wasn't saying that it was off, but he was just giving you advice. The Lord give you counsel, you know what I'm saying, on what you should do and what you shouldn't do before you do it. All right? And I understand why he has said this. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in there getting pissed the fuck off. You know, and they trying to do another bloodshot on my son, and I ain't letting this shit slide. Can't. It says, for thus saith the Lord concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begot them in this land, they shall die grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcass shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. All right? And now, of course, you know what I'm saying, the Akim that do have, you know, ribs and children, you know, this don't apply to you. You know, this is applying to the Jake, you know, the 2/3 Jake that's in the world, because these niggas is getting ready to get it, bro. But the smart thing would, hey, if you could, just go without it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's the Lord's will, if he wants you to have children, then you're going to have it. Because like I said, you're going to have a lot of, that's what's going to make up the 1/3 multitude. That innumerable multitude, you know, the women and children, as well as some men. All right? But when I tell you that really these doctors and these nurses don't really know what the fuck is going on, because I even had one of them put their foot in their own mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there getting mad. This is why they called one of the other nurses in there to draw the blood, because the first one was taking too goddamn long. Just had my seed all in pain, screaming and shit. She was like, I know it looks like we're drawing a lot of blood, but we're really not. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, bullshit, whatever, you know. And that's what I'm saying in my head. Then the next day, we got another nurse because they be switching shifts. And I asked, I'm like, we ain't got to worry about no more blood work being done, do we? And she was telling me, like, no. And she had basically, you know what I'm saying, snitched on him. She was like, I know it seemed like, or she said, from the mother, we don't draw a lot of blood work, but from the child, we do. So that was something completely different from what the other nurse had said. So it basically caught the bitch in a lie, man. And that's why I want to grab this too. Let me see, I think it's Physicians. Let me just look that up and see what pop up. Oh, there we go. This is the book of Job 13 and verse 4, and it says, but ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. And somebody who's a physician, you know what I'm saying, basically specializes in health. And in today's time, you can, you know, apply that to these damn doctors. You know what I'm saying? Which is, they truly ain't no physicians. Like the scripture say, the physicians of no value, because they got to take the hypocritical oath. You know what I mean? They take the hypocritical oath and they basically lie to your ass. You know what I mean? The shit that they doing there, it's not really helping you. You know what I'm saying? And the medicine that they put you on, that shit is not helping you. You know what I mean? But they gonna make it seem like it is when it's truly not. You know what I'm saying? Like I say all the time, it's a temporary fix for permanent damage. You know what I mean? When you taking all that shit may make you feel a little good. It may take away the pain. You know what I'm saying? It may help with certain other things. But it's gonna fuck your body up in the long run. And this is what they're not gonna tell you. You know what I mean? Even with the epidural, you know what I'm saying? This another damn, boy. That's what I'm saying. There's so much shit I can touch up on because they had my rib on epidural, or epidural, however the fuck you want to call it. And when they started doing the C-section, I guess that shit wore off, and they started cutting it. And she said she was feeling it, and I can hear her because they had me waiting outside the hall. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I heard a moan, like, oh, like, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And it came out that she said she was telling me she could feel all that shit. She felt them cutting. It was hurting like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So it just shows you these motherfuckers are physicians of no value, man. All right, but that's pretty much all I wanted to bring up. Just something. You know what? As a matter of fact, we can grab this last one. Oh man. The Apocrypha ain't even pop up on it. It's called a what? But Sirach 37 and 8 to 10, it basically gets into how, you know, not to consult with one that envies thee. All right, you know, don't be taking advice from, you know what I'm saying, the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying, that took, you know, these doctors that are taking that hypocritical oath. You know what I'm saying, get in the scriptures because the scriptures school you up and everything. You know what I mean? And do your own research, man. But, you know, with that being said, I don't want to side of the list was edifying. You know, and that the poems proving Salaki for ranting a little bit. Like I say, you know, it's a lot more that I could have touched up on, but, you know, maybe I do a part 2 to it soon or something. But, you know, call out Yahweh Shem Al Shai B'Shem Rakakadash Shalom and Abba Baba.